I heard that song. You don't want no problem, problem. Ooh, ooh. You don't want no problem, problem. Ooh. You don't want no problem with me. Song, 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 the song. Yeah, that right there. The ancestor said that's the sit arounder. You don't want no problem, problem. You don't want no problem, problem. The sit arounders. Sit arounders versus the ballers. Sit arounders versus the ballers. Baller, shot caller. That's what the ancestor said. Confirmation on my phone. So the ballers are the shot callers, the ones that make the shots, the ones that get things in motion for real, for real. Like the ones that have something to get something in motion with. The sit arounders, you don't want no problems. They don't like problems. They don't face their problems. They don't like problems. So they always they suppress their problems by rah-rah. That'll be that person that, say something to you. You don't want no smoke with me. You don't want to do the young, all that right there. That's the sit arounders. They like that. All they do is sit around in their problems without addressing them. They're very weird because they're the people that will sit around and they have so much to say, so much on their mind, so much that they need to get done or just so much period, and they won't do it at all. These are the people who would smoke instead, play the game instead, go to sleep instead. These are the people who would get on the phone instead. They avoid what they are supposed to do and to get them further in life by any means necessary. But personally, though, this is someone who has a job now. The sit arounder is someone who actually has a physical job. The baller doesn't. No, the baller don't have a 9 to 5. I'm talking the ballers does. No, the baller is balling. Period. They make the shots, shot calling. But the sit arounder, their financial life is in shambles because they have a 9 to 5 and they haven't gathered their spiritual and mental and emotional life because everything is governed by their finances and what they're not getting, and they have a little lack there. They're lacking in areas of their life. Okay, so they sit around. They don't stand up in nothing. They don't stand up for themselves. They can't speak up either. This is somebody who might not even talk that loud. This is somebody who could talk. They wait for the right moments to talk loud. This is somebody who. This the sit arounders for me. They wait for the right moment, to say something. These are people who listen to conversations and don't really have nothing to say about any other part of the conversation. But when they have something to say about, like when you have something to say about lack and I don't know, like what they feel like they know more about, then they say something about it. But mind you, this is somebody who ain't said nothing the whole time you've been talking. This is somebody who don't really know nothing. They're waiting for you to say something that they do know. Thank you, Spirit. They're waiting for you to speak on something that they do know. This could be somebody who only know how to read and write for real. Like literally, and that's not a joke. It's just something that could be going on because of how their life went. This is somebody who grew up and their life took a total complete turn. Maybe they moved around a lot, had parents that moved around a lot, separation in the homes, in different schools, peer pressure in different areas. You know what I'm saying? This could be someone who's well traveled, they've been to this school, that school, all over here, everywhere. They know everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody like that. They haven't had a solid time being somewhere. They don't know what it's like to sit. This is why they sit around, because when they actually had time to sit around, they was too busy moving around. Okay, this is somebody who choose other people, placing things over themselves. They don't want to speak up for themselves. They let everybody else control their life, like physically. Okay, so like this is somebody who only has a job, and if the job is only paying $1,000 a week, they gonna focus on that. Like I gotta get $1,000. I gotta only get $1,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pay this and I gotta pay that and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. It's like, so you're not gonna get more. You don't have more inside of you to sit arounders. They don't have nothing else to offer from themselves. So they blame other people after they say what they don't have. It's like you're so boldly saying what you don't have, and that's all what you're saying that you have is less than what you say you don't have. And that's what you have to talk about. This is somebody who is less than. They like the lesser of. This is also somebody who knows a lot of information. Like I said, the sit-arounders are people who have been around the world and but they haven't sat with none of the information. This is somebody who don't know how to make relationships. They don't like certain type of relationships. Okay, they don't like them. Relationships that make them change, they hate them relationships. So they don't sit with those people. So the sit around with friends are probably like thugs and flockheads and dope fiends and stuff like that, and alcoholics and people who won't take care of their kids, but they're the only one in the group that do, barely. It's like people who are going through exactly the same thing that they're going through. That's who they hang around. They can't hang around nobody else who is more, because they don't talk like that. Like I said, it's somebody who might not even know how to read or write. They don't talk like that. So they can't even absorb that, because they haven't even visited and sat with that spot in them. This is somebody who actually sit on their ass a lot, but they don't sit with themselves. They just sit on their ass. Okay. So when it's time for them to face themselves, they give everybody else their ass to kiss instead of themselves. Okay. Yeah, this is, the sit-arounders are weird. Okay. They're very weird. And they're not doing nothing but sitting around. That's all they're doing. Everybody else is the problem but them. This is somebody who didn't go through their problems. They went over it. They not over it. They went around it. They didn't go through the problem. Instead they took a whole nother detour and another one and another one. And it brought them back to this one and back to the problem from here. Okay, but they still ain't I'm gonna take another detour. I'm gonna take another detour. I'm gonna take another detour, and back here. It's like, this is people who took detours in their life. They never faced nothing on at all. Okay, these are people who could also not like to go to funerals and things like that. They don't like death. They don't like for you to talk bad and talk negative. But they don't see that the fact that the way that they're talking about how they are in lack is negative. They don't see that. They feel like that's just the way their life goes. And it's like, no, that's negative too. It's like, if I can say that somebody is negative outside, you can say, and you speak on your aspect of the fact that you haven't haven't risen from who you used to be a little bit more, that's negative too. Because why is that? It's like the way that they see negativity is different. They only see it as a certain type of way, a one way. They have a one way of seeing things. This is somebody who wants a one way out and a one way in. Okay, this is somebody who only goes out their front door. They don't like their back door, or they only go out their back door. They don't like their front door. This is somebody who one way in, one way out. They don't like the in-betweens of what happens when you get in, when you go inside of you. They don't like the in-betweens of that, where it takes them, where it leads them. They can't control that. And this is somebody who likes control, whether they like to say it or not. Because again, they don't have nothing to control. So the only reason they're trying to get things is so they can control it, since they didn't have nothing that they can't control. That's what they base their life off of, what they don't have. Okay, and the things that they don't have are material things of control. And then even other things that they want, that they don't have, are material things of growth, and they don't want to do that either. It's like they don't know what they want to do other than sit around. They want to sit around. They like sitting around. This could be someone who, again, like I said, hang with the dope fiends, the alcoholics, the drug dealers, and things of those nature. That's their friends, like their literal physical friends, like who they hang out with. If they was to call somebody right now, it would be one of them. It's like they don't have nobody else to work with. They haven't reached no limits in their life. Okay, let's sit arounders. They literally physically just sit around with people who also sit around as well. This is somebody who goes to work, come home, play the game, go to sleep, go to work, come home, shit, cook, go to work, come home. This is somebody who don't, they don't like the society. They don't like going outside every time. It's not that they don't like it. They feel they don't have nothing to give the world. That's really what it is. They don't have nothing to give the world, and they're afraid of creating that. Maybe it's somebody who could be on up in age. Okay, I'm getting 35, 40, 45, 50 on up in age, up in there. They done lived through many lifetimes and many times, and this is somebody who watched it go by, and now that it actually has passed and transformed. That's really all the answers to say today. Like, they done missed a lot. Like, they done missed a lot of time. This is those people. These are people who always be like, well, it didn't used to be like that. Back in the day, it was like this. And da-da-da. It's like, baby, it's not the same no more. And you shouldn't be the same anyway. How is your old self, that old at least, still fitting in this big-ass world now? Times have really changed, This is somebody who, again, they don't like technology. They could have a technology theme. They don't like all that technology and the phones and stuff like that. And what has came into place to make them grow. You know, like, you know how we need the phone so I can do my YouTube video so somebody else in another city can see it. They don't, that's a lot for them. If they was to get a business and have to do the same thing, that's like, that would be a lot for them. They didn't grow up in those times. Okay. Time has passed them by now. Okay. They're the sit-arounders. So all they want to do is sit around, because that is way too much energy. This is somebody who could have had a hard knock life for us because of the times they grew up in. Okay, so now they can't with you and them in the collective. So they're going to sit around. Okay. This is also somebody who couldn't get a clear plan on what to do after high school. This is somebody like that too. Like, so they don't have to be that old. Okay, I'm getting 20s as well. This is somebody who couldn't quite figure out what to do after high school. Like, they don't know what to do with their life. You know, they played in high school. They played around. Like, again, they let time go by. This is somebody who played with. These are people, sit-arounders are people who played with time. So while people was actually taking life seriously, those were their friends that they were hanging out with and doing what they were doing and playing around in the times what times need to be taken seriously. Because I feel like every single time of the day is supposed to be taken seriously. Every single time. These are people who wasted time up and down time. And even in their downtime, they wasted time there as well. It's like they waste too much time. They wasted time in the wrong places with the wrong people, giving to the wrong people, doing for the wrong people. They just wasted too much of their time. Father Time could be on their ass because time is running out. Because you can't sit around no more. There's not even a chair or a table for you to sit down on. Somebody might own that shit right now. Like, they'll be to pick that up. That was sold in the estate sale. What are you doing here? You can't sit here either. It's like, it's something like that now for the sit-arounders. You can't. Like, you're literally going to get pushed out the way because nobody is sitting down. We're all standing up for ourselves, standing up for what we want, standing up for what we feel we need, standing up for what we deserve, standing up for what we love, we're just standing up. Ain't nobody sitting the fuck down. If you're sitting down in the sit-arounders, you are finna get pushed off the couch on the floor. Don't sit over here. I'm literally hearing Kendra say, they're not like us. And that could be what the ballers are saying. Again, the ballers are different people. The ballers get it how I live. Count the motherfucking digits. Period. The ballers live different. The ballers, they not like us, okay? The ballers are people who have a successful business right now, and that's how they sustain. That's all I'm going to say, period. Even if they have their successful business and maybe they get funds from the VA or funds from somewhere, some small government assistance. But for the most part, they get their money. That's the baller. They get their money. And they've been getting their money for a while now. The baller is somebody who probably didn't grow up with no parents, period. Like I'm talking about, they might not even be alive. They died a long time ago. Okay, so they really had to take care of their kids, the brothers and the sisters and the cousins. The baller is the one who gets things in motion. Okay, the baller is the one who is working on a legacy right now. They're also building a house, buying a house. They're working right now. The baller is working on dunking at the 3-point, bitch. Okay, right now, and numerous times. Boop, boop, boop. Give me another one. Boop. And another one, boop, and another one, boop. It's like that. That's what the baller is doing. They don't have time to play with you. They have time to ball, okay? Let's play ball. You know, are you in the game of life? How are you playing the game of life? Can I catch the ball? Can I throw it back to you? Are you ready? Are you strong enough, bold, confident? Can you handle this life? No matter what it throws at you. That's what the baller is doing. Shit is heating up on the baller's end. Shit, you don't see them stressing. You see them getting it, pushing it. Okay, the baller is very different than the sit-arounder because you don't catch the baller sitting around. You catch the baller mostly outside. That's what the baller is going to be doing. The baller is outside, nurturing, loving, growing, probably even a motherfucking business that has something to do outside. The baller is doing what it has to do to grow. They're not inside the house. They're outside connecting. The baller is inside of groups, communities, friends, and everything. People know them. They help people. They guide people. Okay, they are the baller is the source. Period. That's what was just at the back of the deck. The baller is the source. Okay. The sit-arounder is just the resource, but the baller is resourceful. The source. Okay. The baller is somebody is who you call One call, that's all. That's the baller. You know why you called that person. That person gonna be able to help you, give you everything that you need. And they're not gonna talk, they're not just gonna be able to tell you. They got guidance and articles. You might even get a book. The baller is very informative, knowledgeable, the reasoning mind. The baller knows how to duality, exactly. The baller is balanced. The baller don't play. You got to figure out which side you on, okay? You either sitting your ass down or you getting out here moving this shit round and round so you can keep your good vibes in good rotation, so you can keep that conscious in good rotation. Are you the sit-arounder or are you the baller?